And now UEN proudly presents Cheese Cubed. 3 tasty bits of cheese knowledge in one compact package. First, it's cheese by the numbers. Today's number is 0.25. That's the size of chuckle you get from this joke. What cheese is made backwards? Edam. Like milk through a strainer, these are the ways of our cheese. In this week's segment, scientist Dr. Lynn Ogden answers your question. Why are some cheeses wrapped, and what is rind?
Well, all the cheeses are covered with something, and in order to keep them away from the air so that they won't develop mold. For example, here's a cheese that is covered with wax, and so cheeses can be dipped in wax, or wax can be painted onto the cheese to keep the surface away from the air. Or cheeses, here's a cheese that has developed a rind because it has been salted in a salt brine, and so the rind becomes dehydrated while the salt is diffusing into the cheese. Water is diffusing out of the surface, therefore we have a rind developing on the cheese. And so it is covered in a way, but still that cheese has to be waxed or put into plastic to keep it from dehydrating and keep it from developing mold. Here's a cheese that has a different kind of a rind. It's actually a mold. This mold lawn is Penicillium camemberti mold. It's brie or camembert. They're pretty similar. And that cover of mold is protecting this cheese from dehydration. And it's already moldy, but it's a harmless mold. That mold gives the cheese flavor. Here's a cheese that's wrapped in a plastic, and a vacuum has been pulled on this plastic, and then it's been heated so it shrinks tightly around the cheese so that no air can get next to that cheese. If air gets next to the cheese, it's going to develop mold, and you probably had the experience of having cheese in the refrigerator that's been forgotten, that the air it's not tightly wrapped, and so it will develop mold. There are some cheeses that have a natural mold inhibitor, like Swiss, so Swiss will be a lot slower to develop mold when it's not wrapped. I am Lynn Ogden, and I'm a food scientist.
And now it's time for the queso quiz. Test your cheese knowledge. What is washed rind? A. Cheese coated in soap. B. Cheese coated in orange-red bacteria. C. Cheese coated in white powdery mold. The answer is B. Washed rind is cheese that has been washed periodically with brine, whey, beer, cider, and other liquid during ripening, resulting in the growth of orange-red bacteria. Cheese Cubed is a tasty bit of cheesy knowledge brought to you by Utah Education Network with support from Cache Valley Cheese, DSM Food Specialties, Schreiber Foods, Gosner Foods Incorporated, and the Western Dairy Center. Learn more at uen.org/TV.